Okay, so we're running short on time here. I'm going to keep moving at a good clip. So let's get into tags and drawing logs. So I mentioned before that tags and drawing logs, what this does is it allows you to apply tags to your documents within your set, which you can then use to quickly create drawing logs. So let's take a look at how that works. For anyone that's not familiar with what sets is or how it works within Revu, sets is essentially a way of visualizing a collection of many single-page PDFs as if it's one large document set. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So firstly, let's create a new set, shall we? So I'll load in my files here. Okay, so let's load in these architectural sheets. I'm just going to leave off this cover page right here. So I got my architectural sheets in there. And if I dive into the options, I've got many of the same sort of filtering options that we had before. But now we've got these tags. And you can see that I already have it set up to tag the sheet name and sheet number. I can also set it up to do discipline per sheet number, type per sheet number. But let's make this even more complicated, shall we? I also want to add the drawing date as a tag, and let's add issued by, for example. So I've got a few more tags I set up on here. So once I've done that, let's go ahead and run it. It's going to ask me to essentially select the region where that sheet name is located. So my sheet name is actually right here. So I'll go ahead and select that. So here's my sheet name. You can see the preview right there. Next, it's going to ask me what my sheet number is, and that's right here. Okay. Next, it's going to ask me the date. So let's select the date. So what happens if I accidentally select something that's not a date? Let's select just this text here and see what happens. It's smart enough to know that that's not a valid date. So it's going to ask me to do it again. So let's do it correct this time. Let's select that January 1st date. There it is there. Next, it's going to ask me who it was issued by, because that's one of the tags that I selected. And this was actually issued by Session Design Company. So let's select that. Okay. And here we go. So you can check out here this audit log. What this does is just gives me a quick visual of all the various tags that are going to be applied. If any of these are incorrect, I can manually override them here. But in this case, everything looks great. Let's just roll with it and say OK. So it's applying all those tags on these different drawings. You can see here that it built out that set. So these are still individual one-page PDFs. It's just visualizing it as one cohesive set there. So I can just click on these pages and jump to them. And if I jump into this properties panel, here's all those tags you can see that have been applied to this particular sheet based on the information that I set up. So very cool stuff. And now that I have all these tags, I can create that drawing log. So let's export that drawing log. I can do all the information, or you know what? I don't really care about all the info. I'm just gonna take off some of these, and cool, that looks good. And I'm going to export this to Excel. And yeah, let's do it. So there we go. There's that drawing log I can send out to whoever I want with all the information that I define. And check this out. This is hyperlinked. So if I want to jump right to this first floor plan south, click on that, jumps me right to that document within that set. So very, very cool stuff. And these hyperlinks are relative. So if I put that report in with a project folder with all those various drawings and then email it out to somebody, all those hyperlinks are going to continue working. So very neat. So What about revisions, though? We're going to have lots of revisions we're going to introduce in here. How do we manage those? So I'll show you real quick how we manage that. So let's go back to this, this set. I'm going to add some files to the set. Let's add those revisions. And there we go. Based on the same criteria, it's also going to define all those same tags. There's that audit log. Again, I can override it if I want. It looks good. Let's just say OK. And boom, all those revisions are in there. It lets me know if any of them are unmatched. Everything looks OK. It's copying over my markups because I just told it to. And just like with sets normally, you've got this revision tracking. So it's always going to put the most recent revision on top. And I can cycle back to older revisions. It's very clearly marked as being superseded. So there's no confusion about what the newest revision is. So very, very cool stuff.